I sound like a crazy girlfriend, but I kind of was at that time. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Susan, and today we're going to get ready together while discussing the ex situation. And this morning I asked you guys on my Instagram if you have any questions regarding to this topic, so I thought it would be fun that we can just sit down, relax, enjoy each other's company. And as you guys know, I'm not really good at talking in front of the camera, so I thought, you know what, it's 2021, better try something new. So yay. And the reason why today I decided to bring up this topic is because today it would be the first time in 3 years that I met this particular ex of mine. So before I apply foundation, I'm going to prep my face with primer, and today I'm using Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. Now, I love this primer. However, if you're a kind of gal who loves 16-hour plus kind of makeup, then I would suggest you use other primer. And today I know that I'll be going out less than an hour, so I feel that I don't need that kind of primer. Before I dive to the questions, I just need to let you guys know I got the feeling that I'm not gonna be able to explain my makeup steps. So if you actually like this look by the end of the video, please let me know so I can recreate this look for you guys. Now let's start with the first question. Tell us how you met with every detail and how you felt at first. We were together for 5 years and we've been broken up for 4 years. So I'll try my best to give you guys as much detail as possible. So how we first met is through a mutual friend of ours, and my friend decided to use our photo as her profile pic. And I think within a day or two, say, hey, by the way, there's this guy that I studied the same medical school with, and he's my senior, and he was wondering, can he have your phone number? And at that time I was single, so she was like, hey, do you want me to hook you guys up? And I was like, yes, please. I'm not gonna lie, at that time I was really desperate. How I felt at first, it's nothing romantic because at that time we were in different countries. So for the first 2-3 months that we were talking, it's pretty much just talking to each other on the phone, texting before we decided to meet each other in person. So it wasn't love at first sight, unfortunately. Yeah, I thought it would be a lot juicier, but nah. So now that I blended, we're going to move on to concealer. And I'm going to apply it under my eye bag, my nose bridge, and my chin. Yes, and I'm using Beauty Blender to blend everything. So the second question, how could you make it feel not awkward seeing your ex if you had a bad breakup? Oh, our breakup was rough. So my advice will definitely be have confidence, because there's a high chance that things can get awkward. So for me, I feel that it's my job to make sure that I'm as comfortable as possible. So when I meet him for the first time, if he sees how comfortable I am, there's a high chance that he will be less awkward. And at the same time, do not talk about what happened in your past relationship. Do not go seek closure if you intended to be friends with him, because I feel that the moment you open that gate, there's a high chance that things could get sour. But if you're meeting him because you want the closure, then you just need to make sure that you talk to him in a way where he's not being judged or you're not being judged. Like both of you are just trying to sort your situation out. Okay, and now I'm going to tap it under my eye area. I feel that like if I'm going to explain to you guys how I do this makeup as well as talking to you guys about what happened, there's a high chance that I will ruin this makeup or I won't make any sense. So after I blend my concealer, I should just dive into the questions. Now I'm going to contour my nose and my face. Just gonna do a dab around it. Next question, what was the circumstances that ended the relationship? Love watching your vid, by the way. Thank you so much. Disclaimer, this is my truth. I'm not saying it's the truth of the universe, and I'm not saying it's his truth either.
And the reason why I'm giving you this disclaimer, because I know for a fact that there's a high chance that he might watch this video, because I did ask for his permission to talk about this, so
brace the impact. Actually, now that I think about it, better yet, any of my ex who are watching this video right now, yes, I'm looking at you, please click on my ad, because I think that whatever we've been through, I deserve it. So yes. Okay, sorry. Now back to the topic. So before I tell you guys what really happened that ended our relationship, as for me personally, I believe that there's never one situation that ended the relationship. It's usually an accumulation of stuff that leads to the breakup. Honestly speaking, for the first 4 years, there's never really an issue. The only mild problem is just because we were in a long-distance relationship. However, right around 4th year, my ex studying to become a surgeon. So pretty much he's extremely busy. After he finishes class, he have to do clinic hour, or sometimes when he in a surgery room, it can take from 1 to 12 hours. And anytime that he's free, he would prefer to either study or literally just fall asleep because he doesn't have a lot of time to rest. So with that, here comes my problematic self. So back then in the relationship, I didn't know how to communicate with someone properly. And I'm not gonna lie, when I woke up this morning, I decided to be as brutally honest as possible. At the end of the day, I hope that this video can help some of you guys out. So please learn from my mistakes. Back then, of course, I didn't know how to tell him that, hey, I feel neglected and I didn't get enough attention from him. Instead of talking to him like an adult, nope. What I did was I started a fight. Literally, I started a fight out of thin air. Like some of them doesn't make any sense, but that's the only way I knew how to get attention from him. So pretty much we slowly drift apart. So now that I blended everything, I'm just going to set my face with this powder right around the area that I know that it tends to crease. And before I tell you guys what happened, I think I need to explain you guys each character because I'm not really good at storytelling, so I'll try my best. My mom has an assistant, and that assistant has a younger sister. And that younger sister is a nurse who worked at the same hospital as my ex. Yes. I decided to fly back home to meet up with my family because it's right around Lunar New Year, and pretty much it's just a big dinner table and it's filled with every possible relative that you can imagine. My mom assistant just kept asking me this random question like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, great. But then within like 2 to 3 minutes later, she kept coming back to me and then she'd be like, how are you holding up? I'm great, thanks. And the assistant would just come sit next to me and kept asking this kind of same narrative like, oh, you look great. And it bugs me to the point where I just ask her straight up, is everything okay? Like, cause you kept asking me this question repeatedly. And after that, she just looked at me and then she said, I understand the breakup could be hard, it might be rough, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm like, no, wait. I'm still in a relationship. And she said, oh, I don't know how to tell you this, but my sister told me that he's been dating this nurse. So imagine, I was at the table that filled with more than 10 people. Some of them, I don't even remember their name. I was just shocked. And guess what? Pissed is an understatement. But obviously, it's at the dinner table, so I act like, really, 1 second, I need to go to the toilet. So I went to the toilet and I closed the door and I quickly called him. So I literally spammed called my ex more than 10 times or 20 times, I can't remember, but he just never picked up. So I kept hearing like the, welcome to the voicemail box of this. And after that, I'm like, fine. Then I text him, and instead of texting him properly, of course not. At that time, I was a troll, so what I did was pick up. So I went out and I just sat there, and I could tell that the assistant knew that something is up because at that time, from like being so happy and everything, I would just like pick up a chopstick and I just like stuff food in my face like aggressively. So within 1 hour, he decided to call back. So at that point, obviously, where am I gonna go? Yes, to the toilet. So I walked to the toilet and I'm like, hello. And he was like, is everything okay? Sorry, I was at the surgery room working on a patient. I'm so sorry. And I remember how I respond because I was such a troll. Oh, I see. Were you working on a patient? Or are you working on... So literally after I say that, he went silent for like 10 seconds. And he was like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is this? Are you trying to fight with me again? I'm not in the mood for this. I'm really tired. And he hung up on me. So I was like,
You
So after that, I walk out of the toilet and I realized my mom was standing at front of the toilet. And I think she heard what I said. So when I opened the door, she was like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, yes, everything is fine. I'm just gonna go back to the table. And by the way, where is your assistant? I walked back to the dinner table and I just sat next to her and I just asked her like, is it possible if you can call your sister right now? And she was like, oh, okay, sure. Should we go to the kitchen or something? And I'm like, yeah, let's go to the kitchen. And she called the sister, and luckily the sister picked up the phone. And I was like, hi, how are you? By the way, can you tell me what happened? Because your sister told me that you saw my boyfriend is with another girl. And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. And she said, yeah, the whole hospital is talking about it. Like, oh, but I didn't know that you guys are still together. I'm so sorry. At that time, I'm too angry to accept other people's sympathy. So I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. I'm fine, I'm good. Anyway, do you have the nurse Facebook? Because at that time I'm like, I'm going to find the evidence. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have her Facebook because we're not that close. And I'm like, it's okay, but do you have her last name and first name? And she was like, oh yeah, I'll text you. Within less than a minute, she texts her sister and gave me all the information. So after that, I just walked back to the table because my bag was there. And I just look around at everybody and I'm like,
oh, I really would love to catch up with you guys, but I have this new project that I have to finish, so I have to do some research. So I'll be at the living room, guys.
So after that, I just took my laptop to the living room and I start doing research. And this is something that I always joke around, but I think it's true. When it comes to relationship in general, if we want to find out something, I got the feeling that we are definitely better than FBI. So I just go through every single profile just to find her, and luckily she published her profile, so I can literally see all of her feed. So at that time, I'm like, yes. And I was really thorough about it. Like, I literally go through her posts and check, did my ex like this post or did he comment on anything? And I started to feel bad because there's no like, there's no comment, there's no photo of him. And at that time, my mind was like, oh my god, did I ruin this relationship? Because there's no evidence. What if I really am overthink? Or maybe if my assistant sister misunderstood. Obviously it doesn't last that long because the next post that I saw, it's a picture of a bearded dragon. Now, why is it an indication that he cheated on me? Well, let's go back a little bit, shall we? So my ex, he is an animal lover. And when I say animal lover, it's not just dogs and cats. He literally has dogs, like turtles, and a bearded dragon. Now, the color of this particular bearded dragon is a common color. It is an orange and yellow color. However, there is one defect of this bearded dragon. So apparently there's a bird that caught him from a farm and traveled to my ex-boyfriend's balcony and accidentally dropped it. Because technically I think the bird wanted to eat it, and that's why the tail got shifted. When I zoom into that photo, I look at its tail, and guess what? It's the same bearded dragon. So I start zooming in everywhere and I realize, oh my god, it's actually my ex-boyfriend dormitory. So what did I do? Obviously, I screenshot that photo and I just sent it to my ex-boyfriend. And guess what? He didn't respond the whole night. Imagine my pent-up feelings. So the next day, after waited more than like 16 hours, he decided to respond. And I asked him, explain this. But technically now that the time has passed, I feel sorry for him because one thing about him is he's not a confrontational person. And he's not a kind of guy who likes to talk about his feelings. And his response was, I don't know how to explain this. I literally felt like there's a switch in my head and I felt like I have shut down. And when that happened, I just told him, if you can't explain this, I'm breaking up with you. And unfortunately, he has nothing to say, so I hang up the call. And that's how our relationship ended. Okay, so that was a long answer, so we're gonna move on to the next question. How did you handle the breakup? How I handle breakup in general, I don't think it's a good way to deal with things. I will block that person off of my social media, my phone number, anything, and just pretend that that person never existed. So I don't think it's a healthy way to deal with a breakup, but yeah, that's just how I operate. Okay, so next question. How did you spend your time after your breakup? Well, definitely just pretend that that person doesn't exist and just become a workaholic. Most of my friends always tell me to, oh, you should watch sad love story, you should listen to a sad song so you can just cry it out. But I don't think I have that within me. I'm already sad. So if I watch like 500 Days of Summer or like Titanic, it will make me feel worse. So instead, every time when I thought of him, I will have my own personal playlist. And most of the song, it's more of like, I'm better without you. Like for example, No Scrub or Somebody That I Used to Know. And my queen, legendary Whitney Houston, rest in peace, love you. There's this one song, but I don't remember the name, but I remember the lyrics. And it goes like this. It's not right, but it's okay. I'm going to make it anyway. Bam. I'm so sorry, my battery died and I have to wait until it's fully charged, and I'm definitely going to be late, but yes, I already done with my eyes and I'm going to apply blush and lipstick and I'm off to go. Moving on to the next question, is there a chance that you two will get back together?
No!
It's not because of this particular ex, it's pretty much with all my exes, because when I was young, I made a promise to myself I will never go back to any of my exes, because I'm a kind of person who will try to fix the relationship as much as I can to the point where I no longer could. So for me, I feel that if I ever go back to any of my ex, it's like I'm betraying my old self. And I got the feeling I'm definitely going to be late. So the next question, why did you choose to stay friends with your ex? Okay, it's quite a long story, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. Pretty much it was right around 2 years ago when I encountered that health episode, which some of you guys who follow me for a very long time, you guys might know about it. I was going through that phase of different diagnoses. A doctor diagnosed me with either HIV or cancer. And just to let you guys know, both diagnoses were wrong. Actually, I have lupus. But right around that time, I truly thought either I have HIV or cancer. And aside from my family, my boyfriend, my friends, I thought of him the most. The reason for it being is because while we were together for 5 years, I did start to have lupus symptoms, but at that time I didn't know. So pretty much I have a lot of bad health episode and he was always there for me. And I'm a kind of person who would like to overthink a lot of things. And one good quality about him is he is the one who be able to calm me down. So after not communicating for the past 2 years, and I didn't say anything to him, but I took a photo of my blood test and all of my medical diagnoses and I sent it to him. And surprisingly, within 30 minutes, he called. And I was really surprised because I thought that at least it would be a text. He started to go through every details of the report and then he said, I know you as a person, I doubt that you will get this, get that, and don't overthink until they did some test on the lump itself. But for now, stop overthink. And when he said all of that, the first thing I thought of, wow, actually, just because we didn't work out as a couple doesn't mean that he is a bad person. It just meant that we're not compatible in relationship and things is never that black and white. So after all of that, I realized I do want him in my life. So that's why I decided I need him as my friend. So next question, what to do when he come up saying that he got a new girlfriend but you're still single? How I would respond to this is, I'm happy for you. Because number one, just because you're single doesn't mean that it hinders who you are as a person at all. And the second thing is this, it really depends on what happened. Okay, let's just say if I am the person who did wrong in the relationship, if I was the one who mistreated him, that's why we broke up. And I think it's good of us to be happy for them to be able to move on. If you be able to be happy for someone that you have hurt in the past, that would mean I have grown as a person. And if we look at other side of the story, if he's the one who harmed you, I would still respond, I'm happy for you, because that will show that I'm a bigger person. For me, I never have issue with the new girlfriend. She wasn't the one that broke the relationship. Unless she did, then that is another scenario. I would actually feel bad for the new girlfriend because she would probably suffer whatever I had. And I feel that as girls, we need to stick together instead of just pinning against one another. You have to do that for yourself. Because if you start pitting yourself against the new girl, what will happen? you will start feeling insecure. You will start stalking the girl and trying to figure out what she's good or bad at. No matter what, you will still feel miserable. So I think the trick of it is always respond, I'm happy for you, and truly feel it, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why you guys don't work out. I think that's the only smart thing I said in the whole entire video. So the next question, is it normal to be friends with your ex when you have a boyfriend? The answer would be yes and no, because it's not like I'm going out of my way to be friends with all my exes. For me, I feel that whatever happened to me justified why would I want to be friends with this person again. I'm lucky enough to be in a position where me and my boyfriend, we trust one another and we in a very secure relationship. And I wouldn't necessarily say you need to ask your partner permission, but I feel that if you're going to meet up with your ex, you need to let your partner know, especially if you're in a good relationship. It's not worth you to go back in the past and ruin your current one. And if he or she, your current one, is uncomfortable about it, it's not worth it. So it really depends on you guys. I'm gonna quickly draw my lips because I can't multitask right now. Right now it's 11:30, that's why the sun is like blazing, so I need to be quick about it. Okay, so now I'm just going to apply my new favorite lipstick at the center of my lips and use my finger to feather everything out. Yes, the usual. Okay, for the last question, was there a formal closure for both of you? The answer is no. At the beginning, when we start talking to each other again, I did wanted to talk about it because I feel that I needed the closure. I need to understand why things happened the way it did. But at the same time, I know his personality. He's not a person who likes to talk about his feeling. After all of that, I learned a really valuable lesson, and for me is that never go seek a closure. And I feel that maybe because we watch too many romantic movies or we see a lot of quotes that we need closure. But after I go through a lot of things, I realize closure is something that will hold you back. If you want to move on from someone, you don't need closure. You just need to let go, love ourselves, and believe in our own action and just move forward. What if you find the right one? But because of that trauma or that scar that you have that you need the closure, you won't be able to fully move on and experience something new. Now that I learned how to love myself properly, I don't believe in closure, and I feel that I don't need one because every decision that I'm going to make, it will be the best one for me. The next thing is I'm going to apply a tiny bit of lip gloss. Now, is it a good idea? Nope, because I'll be wearing a mask, but I like it. So I'm just going to apply a tiny bit of it right here. Lastly, setting spray. And we're done! Yay! I'm definitely gonna be late. Okay, let me fix my hair. My hair is a little bit flat, but never mind, we don't have time for that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys like this kind of get ready with me. If you want more of it, please give a thumbs up and comment down below what other topics you want me to talk about. And if you guys want an update of how today is gonna go down, please follow me on social media so I can either IG Live or IG Story. And please follow me on Instagram because on February 24th, I have something big to show you guys and I cannot wait to talk about it. So please follow me on there so you can see what I've been working on. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye!